Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So today is Sunday, August 22nd. It's 85 degrees and 74% humidity. It's about 9:30 in the morning, and I'm going to try and get out here real quick and work on these two Wildflower Meadows nukes. So my wife has pre-ordered some Colorado peaches, and we got to go somewhere and we got to be there at a certain time before the line gets too long to go pick them up. But anyway, so these two nukes are Wildflower Meadows queens that they gifted me, and so thanks to Wildflower Meadows. And check them out at wildflowermeadows.com, and you can order your queens there. I don't know if they still have any available this season. They probably do, but really good queens. So those queens were banked to use for hive failures where we needed to requeen. So far we're queen right on all 30 hives. So we want to try and stay around 30 hives. So you probably saw before I rebuilt that stand, and the stand to the right that's empty is the one they were on. So that's just a stand to put nukes on and sell nukes off of and move them around. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and attempt to overwinter those Wildflower Meadows nukes if I need to. So they needed a heavier stand, so we got that done. So today we're going to expand them and get them up to 10 frames. And I got the hive top feeders here. And I actually had to make me a couple of telescoping covers because I didn't have those, and I don't need an inner cover with this, so I need to still make those. I may have some, I don't know, but we're going to get these on there. I don't have time to mix the sugar today and get it on there unless I do that later this evening, but we're going to give that a try. So let's get going and let's graduate these nukes to 10 frame deeps. Okay, before we get started over there, I did a walk through here just a second ago, and I want to show you something I found, so help you guys recognize it if you ever come across this. So this is a hive 5, and I want you to notice the flight behavior of the bees around this hive. Shadows are making it kind of bad, but check out the flight on these two hives here, and see how there's a lot of bees on the front bottom board hanging out. So bees that go in and out of these hives are deliberate about where they go. They fly to a spot, they light, and they walk in, or they come out and they go to a spot and they take off, and they all pretty much head the same direction. So this hive here, there was a little bit more activity earlier on, but so see how these bees are just kind of fluttering around. They're not they don't have a deliberate pattern. They're just kind of random flying, and it's like they're looking for something. So these are probably robber bees. And there's a wasp right there. And there's nothing attacking the wasp. So some of the bees look like they're fighting. So I think what's going on here, this hive last week, I had a little swarm show up here in the apiary, and it was just flying around. And I just watched it, and it lit right here on this hive, like it was maybe a supersedure queen flight, a virgin queen or something. But I went all through it, there was no queen to be found. And I looked in here real quick, and there was some bees. It wasn't real strong. It probably needs reduced. And yeah, I see fighting there on the front door. So right now I need to reduce this down. I think what's happening is, so this hive's being robbed out, and there's a frame feeder in there, so they're probably going up and getting that nectar. And there's probably a few home bees left. So probably I need to divert my plans and check on this hive right here real quick. Yeah, so that's how it goes, you know, plans change. I hope we still have a good queen in here and I can reduce this down. There's a few bees up here. Probably should go light my smoker. Okay, I reduced this entrance down to just that little spot right there. And I do have some robber screens I could use. This isn't too bad yet, but let's get in here and see what it looks like. And I put this brick over this little hole while I was off lighting this smoker to keep those bees out of there. So these bees here are robbers. There's nothing left of this hive, basically, looks like. So we can just move one of our nukes over here this evening, probably is what it looks like. Let's go through here real quick. See, I jinxed it. I said we were queen right on all 30 hives, and look what happened. So there's some bees right there, and I think that's probably what's left of the original colony. So this looks like it's damp. It wasn't hive beetle slime, it's just damp. So here's your original bees right here, all that's left of them. A few little uncapped brood right there. Yeah, there's nothing left in here. So probably what I'll do is I'll just leave this lid off and I'll let them work it. Let sunlight in there to prevent any wax moths. Let this get some air. So this was our laying worker hive, the second one that we corrected. So that, you know, when you go to make a decision on correcting a laying worker hive, a lot of times it's just best to cut your loss and go with it. So there's a lot of nectar in this. I'll just set it out here, or I'll take it away. Okay, so this evening I will move one of those nukes over here and transplant it into this hive, reduce it down, and I'll lock them up for a while, or I'll put a robbing screen on it so they'll reacclimate to this location. So we don't want to lose all of our field bees. So any field bees that do return over there will go into that other nuke, I'm hoping. So that's the plan. So let's get back over there and we'll expand just one of those nukes right now. So we got 10 frames in this box right here, and each of these nukes has 4 frames. So I'm going to pick out the best 5 frames I can get here, or 6, to give them a leg up. So these need wax coated again. So this one's okay. These have some wax on them, I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're good to go here now. Actually, let's use this one. Okay. I'll scoot this one over just a skosh. This is the one we'll move over to hive 5. Get my bottom boards and should be ready. So this is an old style bottom board I converted. Put a piece of wood in the bottom, that thin stuff. It's like an 1/8 inch thick, and covered that screen. That looks good. So we'll put our nuke frames right here in the middle. Man, I have to say I'm glad I'm only doing one of these, because it is miserable hot. There's no breeze hardly at all. Humidity's high. I am sweating like crazy. Yeah, this looks good. Look on here for a queen. Nope. So I'll just start here on the left hand side, and I'll keep them in the same order and just drop them in there. Keep an eye out for our queen while I'm doing that. Check out the brood pattern. Here's our queen already. Yeah, she's hanging out there on the outside frame. So bam, we know we got our queen in good health. So what I might do when I find a brood, put one of these drawn out frames in between them. So here's a good cat brood frame, and the other one looks like that as well. So I want to get this, I'll just scoot this one over. So here's a nice drawn frame. Yeah, that'd be good for laying. This one here looks a little newer. I'm going to put it there. Yeah, she will like that. So that'll give her a new spot to lay in between her brood. So when you put an empty frame in between frames that are working, you want to make sure they're brood frames and not honey frames. Because if they're honey frames, they'll draw the existing honey frames out thick and they won't touch the one that you just put in there, especially if it's undrawn. Just bare foundation. And here's a bunch of capped honey and pollen, and there's eggs down in there. Yeah, this hive's doing well. They're ready for a big hive. They're ready for graduation. And that's all shiny nectar. So we'll scoot this over this direction. And we'll put, yeah, that's got fresh wax on it. There we go. 10 frames. Now we got to take care of the bees that are still left in this box. And I'll use these same block reducers on the front of this. I'm not going to be able to. The way I built this, it's sticking out, so maybe if I lay them like that, that'll work. My little 1/8 board is sticking out the front there, so my blocks don't sit flush on the front. That's going to be a problem when it comes time to do oxalic acid treatment. So I need to figure out a way to get that off of there. All right, I normally don't shake a bottom board in like this or smack it because there'll be debris. But this hive is really hygienic bees and they've kept this bottom really clean. So I'm not going to lose a bunch of junk in here. Okay, I'm going to use a top feeder for this hive. And at the rate they're going, it won't be long until they need their second deep, which is good. Now we'll scoot it over where it was. And we'll come back later and get some mix in there for them. I'm going to scoot this over to that side. They were trying to go between the blocks. If you noticed earlier, it's because the way it was set up on the nuke, these two blocks were right next to each other and they were going between them to go in. So that was messing with them. So there, all these ones out there flying will find their way back in. In fact, we might reduce it down one more. So now they're trying to go between the 2 blocks on the right. I'll just take that out. See some yellow pollen coming in there. Okay, so we got one expanded. No need to do that till we move it. You know, I said several times earlier, inevitably, something will happen over here, and sure enough did. That was strange. Last weekend, I saw that little swarm that was queenless. So, and I did peek in that hive, and I didn't look around for a queen, but I didn't have time, but I figured I'd just check on it later. So I did that walk by this morning and saw that erratic flight in front of the entrance on hive 5, and sure enough, it's done for. And it's a good thing we found it before the wax moths did and tore it all up. So it was just in the early stages of being robbed. Not sure what happened there. Something happened to that queen. That little swarm, that queen probably failed and they didn't have a queen, so I don't know what they were thinking. Who knows with bees. Anyway, this one's done, and we will move this one at dusk when all the bees are in the hive, and then we'll set it up such that when they come out over there, they'll realize they're in a different place and they'll reorient, and the ones that don't reorient may make it over into this hive right here. So we'll just see. And I could leave nuke box sitting here for those ones that do come back, but I think if we move it in the evening and get them over there and set it up with a robber screen on the front, that will set them up where they reorient over there. So that's the end of the video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel on your way out if you haven't subscribed. We're closing in on 9,000 now, so about 500 away. So we'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.